Hello, my name is Liz Hayes and I'm the Assistant Manager of the Connect Fund. The Connect Fund is a £3 million fund for grants and investments managed by the Barrow Cadbury Trust in partnership with the Access Foundation. We are here today to talk about the Connect Fund Learning Community Trello Board. So with 42 projects now up and running, we want to ensure that all of our grantees are making use of Trello Board to connect and to share resources and information. And a few of you have said it would be really helpful to have a guide through how you can make use of the Trello board, what you can use it for, what you can add to it, and how you can connect to people through it. So hopefully after this video, you'll feel confident to be able to start engaging with the board and start sharing information and resources. So I will talk you through how we structured our board and some of the key features and how you can use it to connect with other projects, share resources and ask questions. But first I'll explain a little bit about why we introduced the board and why we hope that everyone will engage with it. So as you'll be aware, the Connect Fund is looking to foster a learning community to enable the exchange of knowledge and facilitate the sharing of information across all of our grantees. We want to enable capacity building and avoid duplication of resources and achieve sustainable outcomes for the sector. Earlier in the year, we put out a survey to get your views on what you thought would be helpful from a learning community, what you would find most useful and what's worked well in the past when you've been involved in similar things such as this. So you can see some of the responses here. In short, you were looking for a place to discuss your project with other organisations, exchange contact details with other grantees, and discover new approaches and new ways to work in partnership. So we feel that the Trello board is a really useful tool to be able to do that. It's a free online tool, and hopefully once you're familiar with it, you'll feel that it's quite straightforward to use. And it means that whether you're in Newcastle or Plymouth, you can stay engaged with the Connect Fund projects, see how other grantees are getting on with their projects, get progress updates, get resources, and connect with other grantees to support their work. You can use the Trello board to share links or attachments to connect with people and stay updated with the other projects in one easy place. It's also a closed board, so only people who are members can see the information shared on it. If you have colleagues who are involved in your Connect Fund project who aren't already members, you can add them to the group, and we'll show you how to do that shortly. Alex will have already shared the link to the Trello board with you and added as many as possible as members. But you can also access it via the learning page on the Connect Fund website. So if you go to the Connect Fund website, click on Learning, it'll take you through to our Learning and Resources page, which is where we'll publish any reports that come out of the projects and progress updates. And there's also a tab on there that I've circled which says Learning Community. And if you click on that, it will take you through the Trello site. And once you're logged in, you'll be able to see the board. So let's take a look at the board in a little bit more detail. So this is how our board looks. If you're not familiar with Trello, the grey boxes across the board are referred to as lists, and the white boxes on each of the lists are referred to as cards. So we've set up a list for the Connect Fund introductory slides, the round 1 and round 2 grants, a list for the regions, topics, and sectors. And within the round 1 and round 2 list, we have a card per project. So you should be able to find your project's card and start adding resources, information, comments as we go along in the project. So before I talk about the kind of project cards in more detail, I just wanted to draw your attention to two cards in the introductory section. First is how do I use this board? So we've already added some links to resources from Trello on how to get started and how to use Trello more generally. But we feel that this card would be really useful to use as a repository for any questions you have about how to use the board going forward. If you have any questions after today's video, then please do write it in the comments on this card. Alex and I will get a notification because we're members, and we'll be able to get back to you. And it's really useful to have the question there because it's likely that other people will have thought the same thing or will benefit from the answer. So it's great to have a repository for those kind of frequently asked questions. The other card I wanted to draw your attention to on the introductory list is the events and invites card. So this is a card that you'll probably want to watch, which I'll explain how to do in a moment. But at the moment, we have been sharing any events that are coming up through the projects. But it's really helpful if you start using this card too. So if you've got an event coming up, whether you want people to come to it or whether you just want to let people know that it's happening, or if you want to invite people to take part in a survey or a webinar, you can add it to this card. So you just pop it in the comments with either a link to the survey or the webinar, or a link to whatever ticketing site you need to get people to register for the event that you're holding. So as I said, it is worth watching this card because we're hoping that as more and more events happen, more and more groups will be want to keep an eye on what other projects are doing and maybe get involved in them. So it's really easy to watch a card or a list for a board. You just have to simply click watch. So if I click that again, it will tick it. And it means that I get a notification whenever something is added to this card then. To watch a list, so if you're part of the round 1 grants and you want to watch the list to see any updates that are posted to any of the cards, you simply go to the menu and click watch. And I'm already watching this board, so to do that you just need to go to the menu, click more, and click watch so that it's ticked. And that means that anything that's added to the board as a whole, you'll get a notification saying that it's been added. So notifications are sent to you two ways. If you log on, you will see this little bell, and when you click on the bell, it will show recent notifications. So new things that have happened since the last time you checked. But you can also get email notifications and you can change the frequency of them. So if you don't want any emails, you only want to see notifications when you log into Trello, you can click never, or you can choose periodically or instantly. So instantly means that you'll get a notification, email every time anyone adds anything to the card you're watching or the board you're watching. So now if I show you one of the cards, it'll give you an idea of what information is already on there and how you can use it. So each of the project cards includes a description of the project and the members of the organisation if they are part of our Trello board. We've also labelled the cards by theme, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So we've already included the overview of the project, but as you can see, Key Fund have been very active in uploading attachments from their reports that they have been producing as part of their Connect Fund project. So you can use your card to post the latest news about your project, any resources you have, or if you've got a particular question or challenge that you'd like to pose to anyone watching the card, you can do that here too. So simply just add a comment with what you want to say, and it'll get posted and people can reply to it as they need to. Similarly, if you are interested in someone else's project and want to ask them a question, you can do it through the comment section on the card as well. If you send it to a card, all the members will get notifications, But if you want to direct it at someone in particular, so if you wanted to notify Alex as something, you just click at, similar to Twitter, and then find their name as a member. And then anything that I type will show up on the activities section of the card, but Alex will also get a notification saying that she has been mentioned in a post. So adding attachments is really easy. If you have already attachments on the card, then you just simply click attach, or you can go to the attach button on the side, and you can attach things from your computer or any cloud storage system that you have. You can obviously also add links. So as Alex has done here, she's put the hyperlink in her comment. So if you've just got something online that you want to link to, you can do it like that. If any of your colleagues aren't already members of the board and you think that it would be helpful for them to be, or they're interested in joining, then you can add them by clicking on this icon here, which is the little person with a plus sign, and type in their email address. They'll then get a notification that they can have access to the board. If they've already got a Trello account, it'll just be added to their account. If not, they can register for free. Once they've been added, you can also add them to whichever project board you think is necessary for them to be a member of. So you just click add and find them in the members list to add them. If you're a member of a card, you'll get a notification when things added, and you'll also get a notification if you're watching a card. If you don't have either of those things, then you can see what is happening in the activities section. So if you go to the menu, the activities log will show everything that's happened on the board, regardless of whether you're watching it or not. I mentioned about the themes. So as you can see, we've labelled the projects by the various theme areas that are similar to the ones on our website. And you can filter by those themes. So if you go to the menu again and click filter cards, it has the option to filter by the different labels that show the themes. So if we wanted to show all the projects that just did capacity building, that's how we do that. And you can also filter by members. You can also search. So if you go to the search box up here and look up data, it will show you all of the cards that have either data sharing in the name or hashtag data. So you can see everything that mentions data as part of the topic. And you can save that as a search. So if there's something that you regularly want to see an update on, you can save that. When you're on a card, you can also contact everyone. So if you click on at, as well as doing the individuals, if you scroll down to the bottom of all the members, you can do all members on the card, which will mean that everyone who is a member will be notified as well. So as I said, you can use your card to post reports and links to things relating to your Connect Fund product, or you can post questions on other people's cards. You can also post questions on some of the other lists that we've put here. So if you've got a particular question about a region or a particular resource that you think would be useful to people in that region, you can just go to the relevant place and put your comment in or add your attachment. And you can do the same with the topics and sector information. So as you can see here on the charities topic card, we have some useful reports that we think are relevant. So if you have anything similar that you think doesn't necessarily relate directly to your project alone, but might be useful as part of the charity's information, you can post that here. And you might find that some of the sector information is helpful for starting more general conversations around various things like health, environment. So they're useful, more general topic areas if you want to start a conversation more broadly, or you want to keep an eye on conversations going on that might not be project specific. We've also set up this card, which is existing social investment resources. So it has, again, some useful reports and links that you might find helpful. And feel free to add and share information on this card as well. So that's a very brief overview of the way the board is set up and what you can use. So as I said, it's fairly straightforward. To connect with people, you simply find them as a member and they'll get a notification. To keep up to date with the developments on a project, you just click watch. And to add resources or attachments, you can click on attach or add a link in the comments. So thank you for watching that brief overview of the Trello board. Hopefully you found it useful and it gave you some ideas of how you could get started. If you've got resources that have already come out of your project, whether they be reports or webinars or links to blog articles or anything like that, you can link them on your card now. So I'd recommend you go and have a little look at your card on the Trello board and start updating it with news about your project that you want to share with the community more broadly. And also take a look at other projects that you might want to keep an eye on, whether to connect with or to get some learning from. And you can also have a look at the regions. So it might be worth adding yourself to the different regions so that you know what's going on with projects nearby. If you have any questions, please do use the how do I use this board card on Trello so that Alex and I can monitor the questions and get back to you as soon as possible. And hopefully this has been a useful resource and hopefully you feel confident to be able to go ahead and start using the Trello board. Thank you. Bye.